Glad to have you back. You're still watching Newsnight here on Arises with me, Ndi Amogo. As Nigeria marks 26 years of unbroken democratic rule, some members of the National Assembly have expressed their thoughts on the state of the nation and their expectations from the presidency in the years ahead. All the members who spoke during President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's address to the joint session of the National Assembly acknowledged the difficult conditions the administration met on ground when it took over the reins of power. They commended the president's commitment to economic reforms, democratic values, and his efforts to stabilize the economy through bold reforms like the fuel subsidy removal, foreign exchange unification. Well, they also commented on the current debate over one-party state.
There will never be one-party state, but one thing you must understand is the fact that if you are in a sinking ship, you want to jump for safety. So if people are jumping from safety from other parties to APC, it's because they see the light. It's because they know that that's the way. So you can't ask them to not to look for safety. All they are looking for is safety, and you can't ask them not to. But Nigeria will never be one-party state. It shows we appreciate their effort in bringing us to where we are today. Because without them, without their struggle, without their pain, we wouldn't be here today. They stood for integrity, they stood for this country, not minding what they can gain. So for me, I think the president has done very well by honoring them, by remembering them. I'm sure their family will be proud.
He met almost a decayed economy when he came in, but he's navigating it, especially through the tax reform bill that we have already passed into law. So with that, I encourage Nigerians to be patient with him. I'm a member of opposition party, but when I see reality, I report it as it is. Critics must be constructive, not destructive criticism. Nigerians should face that which is the truth. The 8 years administration of his predecessor nearly finished the economy of Nigeria. That one is obvious, but he's trying to bring it back now. He's stabilizing dollar, among other economic decay he met when he came to the office. So we are talking to Nigerians. Let us be patient with him.
I appreciate all Nigerians for their enduring spirit till date, because we all know what Nigeria is today, despite the fact that we are celebrating Democracy Day. Not many people are that happy, but we know that the president is putting in his best to make Nigeria work, and we have started to see the signs. But Nigerians have been very enduring, they have been very patient, and they have been prayerful, and they have been committed to this government to see the desired results. And the president has given us even more hope of the programs that he has in place that will touch the lives of ordinary Nigerians.
Nigeria as a country has been stabilized in democracy and is functioning. It's running through 26 years now. So for me, we're at the verge of developing what you consider the developing nation, and that's what Nigeria is now.
He have x-ray what he have done in the last 2 years and how he was able to collaborate with the National Assembly to achieve those milestone achievements. Be that as it may, Nigeria is a very big country. They are still expecting much more from the National Assembly and from Mr. President himself.
For Nigerians, it's been 2 years of mixed reactions from the Tinubu administration. For some of the country, for some, the country is on the right path, while for others, they said the government has not done well. Let's have this discussion with Daniel Bwala, who is a special advisor on media and policy communication to the president. He also doubles as a spokesperson to the president. Glad to have you join us, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, we'll probably break down all that they have said. 2 years, mixed reactions of the Tinubu administration. For some, it's been like hell when you listen to people talk. For some, like you listen to them talk, as well. What's your sense of how the country or how the president has run the country this past 2 years?
He has been able to run the country excellently well. A nation of diverse background, cultures, people, leanings, ideologies, and experiences. It is very, very natural for you to have people having their own various opinion. In fact, that's what democracy entrenches, popular opinion, arising from the various opinions of the people. But then there are people who also look at facts, because sometimes when you have varied opinion, then you look at facts and data so you can form your own opinion in the midst of that conflicting opinion. There are things that are not deniable. One is that when we came on board, the foreign reserve was $33 billion. Now we have 40-something billion dollars. When we came in, our revenue was very, very much down. Now we have increased revenue, which has helped us to do so many things. Whether you talk of interventions, you talk about increased allocation, devolving powers to the state, making monies available, credit facilities, NEL fund. We have done so much to impact on the life of the same people who were affected by the initial decision that we made to put the fundamentals of the economy in its place. So, so far so good. There are people who believe that the president has done way beyond expectation, given what he found when he came. You are always going to work based on what you have. When he came on board, there was nothing on ground. What he did can be, I think if you describe it as magic or miracle, I think that's fine. Because 27 states could not pay salaries when he came. All the states of the Federation are paying salaries. States in Nigeria are paying their debts. States in Nigeria are doing infrastructure. States in Nigeria, almost whether it is governing party-led states, opposition party-led state, they have showered encomium on Mr. President.
I don't know
go to
that.
Abia, you hear it. Go to Enugu, you hear the same.
I don't know that the Labour
Yeah.
will agree with you on payment of salaries, especially even with the increase. But let's talk about, let's break it down.
You mean they will not agree that there is increase, or they will not agree that the increase is
That
not
the states are
sufficient?
not paying even what the president has offered, what the president has said that the state should pay.
Right.
I mean, I've been in some meetings with labor leaders, and they've said the states are not even paying them. The states are not paying even the increase, even the salaries. But let's just leave there and go to, you talked about devolving of powers. Amakoba, the son,
Right.
he said that is one thing, data is one thing, perspective and what you can feel and see is another thing. Amakoba said that it's good for the government to say, okay, 3.3% increase in, but that the hardship the people are feeling, that until there is whatever you call it, according to him, whether it's devolution of powers, whether it's restructuring, until that is done, that Nigeria will still be the way the president cannot achieve much in the economy of the nation. That's what he said.
You know, a lot of people don't know that.
Because for him, he says the hardship out there is telling.
Yes, but let me say this. A lot of people don't know that data is actually the reflection of a reality, because the data is gathered based on reality. So, for example, if they say this month there is an increase in inflation, it is measured based on the realities of either cost of food items that has gone up, either cost of transportation. So even if it is inflation of food or general inflation, is a reflection of the reality which is collated. So sometimes, and you know, the other thing is, when the data speaks against government, people emphasize data. When the data is in favor of government, people say data doesn't count. How do you map out development without data? How can you assess the impact on policy without data?
But there seems to be a disconnect,
right,
between the data that is being churned out and the real thing on the ground.
Give me an example of a data report that contradicts the realities on ground. For example, in the month of April,
if you go to,
we had increase, our inflation dropped by 1 point. It's a reality reflected in the cost of food items, specific items, for example, that affect the people. So if somebody is saying that data is contradicting reality, you should be able to point at that reality that contradicts the data. Let me tell you what I know. I know that about 300,000 students have benefited from NEL fund, provided by government policy to help fund their studies. It is data-based, and you can see the names, numbers, and universities where the people come from. I know as a fact that federal government, through the administration of President Bola Tinubu, increased the allowances of National Youth Service Corps. They are receiving it, data-driven, but reflected in reality. I know as a fact that all the states of the Federation have enjoyed and are enjoying increased allocation, some states by over 300%. It's data-driven, but it's a fact that can be checked.
But are you aware of the fact that it looks like almost, I don't know whether to use daily or monthly, house rents are increasing, insecurity is increasing, affecting farmers. So we have the question of food insecurity, even food, because I don't want to bring myself into the discussion, but I go to the market.
We go as well.
I buy things.
I was in the market today.
And I see that things are not going down. They're increasing.
No. Some are going down. And let me tell
Which
you.
are going down.
This is.
And then the question of, I've mentioned three, the house rent, even the school fees.
I will react to the house rents. Don't forget also that some Nigerian people are wonderful. They take advantage of unfortunate situation. Take, for example, when we talk about food production, you know that there are certain individuals who buy food in large quantity, they stock them, and they hoard them, so that when a certain season comes, they will then bring them out to the market and increase the prices. In this case, do you say the government has not provided food? So what we are doing is collaborating with law enforcement to fish out these elements. The same thing when it comes to prices in certain things. So whether it is aviation, local transportation, wherever, the government has intervened in these areas, but the population of Nigeria is large. And any policy you introduce at the beginning may seem small. It's like data, it's like polling. You look at the sample size, and then you reflect on the society.
Okay, Daniel, let's talk politics a little bit, because we have a little time. Now, I listened to one of the respondents there talk about the people, what's that word again? What's the when you it's
when you do what?
But I will get it. When you don't gain, sacrifice.
Yeah.
People in the past, they sacrifice without minding what they gain. You and I listen to the president's comments. One can understand some people. I'm in quarrel with some of the things he said about parties in disarray. He won't help you, of course. I'm not going to help you solve your problem. That's understandable. But then some of the things happening in this democracy, even the president says he's not in support of one-party state, seems to point otherwise. Even some are saying that the democratic space is being constricted. I don't know.
So Nigeria is not a one-party state.
As of today.
But Nigeria is a multi-party state of one strong party and mushroom parties. Is that clear? Now,
I don't know which one you're calling mushroom parties.
All other parties, it's just like Mercedes say there are two cars, Mercedes and others.
But that is wrong.
Yes, but now I'm applying it here. That it's a multi-party state of one strong party and mushroom parties. But these parties became mushroom by their own doings. You know that PDP governed in Nigeria. You know that PDP at one time was strong. And you also know that PDP's problem started even before the president got the ticket of the party. He couldn't have been the originator of the problem in PDP. As I speak today, you and I know that PDP does not have a national leader. The ship is sinking, as very profoundly described by Mr. President. And he said, when the ship is sinking and people are coming to my party, you can't stop me from receiving them.
Freedom of association.
Yes. But the point in which he said, I'm happy to watch you in disarray, is because he is a member of a political party. When President Bola Tinubu started his political trajectory, there was a time his party in the Southwest was shrinked to only one. He sat there, he didn't cry like a cry baby.
Before I let you go, Daniel, you were not in APC before. You criticized APC.
No,
you even criticized the president.
Yes, but it's wrong to say.
So how come that because people have likened it to some, that that young man said, that legislative member said, these people sacrificed, they didn't mind what they gained. But looks like today is politicians seem to think about their stomach and not about the people, not about service.
It's about service. Now, any politician that reference is made to him about stomach is a politician who doesn't have a second address. You know, I'm a legal practitioner.
I know.
I have a robust practice of law, and I've employed citizens of Nigeria contributing to the economy of Nigeria. And not yesterday I started the practice. I have my license to practice outside the jurisdiction of Nigeria. I'm an international consultant to nations and organizations outside Nigeria. There is no need for me to overblow that. But this concept of stomach infrastructure started with Governor Fayeshe when he said it. But before then, what were people saying? But I need you to know one thing today. Politics is a concept established by man, not God. And the concept of politics is political association of interest. And everybody in Nigeria has that fundamental right of association, can leave any political party anytime. So when you say I was not in APC before, it's a false narration. I have been a foundational member of APC, and you know, for 8 years of President Buhari, I have been actively supporting the party. I only went on sabbatical for 7 days in PDP. And then I returned. Don't you go on sabbatical?
I've not gone on sabbatical. I've been a broadcaster for years. I've not gone on sabbatical. I think we'll leave it there. Interesting. Daniel Bwala, Special Advisor on Media and Policy Communication to the President. He also doubles as a spokesman of the President. Thank you.
Thank you.
For being on the rise on Newsnight.